Tonight, I would like to speak a little bit about an incident that occurred this week, man, that, just real terrible and tragic incident that occurred this week. Uh, and it deals with the death of the rapper Young Dolph. Uh, Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., you know, um, just a terrible tragedy, man. Real tragedy, man. And a real blow for the city of Memphis, man. My city. Um, I really, it's kind of hard for me to try to formulate words, to say in regards to this incident, man. But I'm gonna try to do my best. But before I go any further, I would like to clear up some things that's been said in regards to Young Dolph's passing. There have been reports that uh, black youngster's grandmother's house was shot up. Reports that Yo Gotti's business was shot up. None of that is true. People really need to stop putting out false information until they get all the facts straight. That is not true. Secondly, the three individuals that were captured on yesterday who were involved in the shooting at the memorial for Young Dolph, at this time, they have no association with the murder of Young Dolph. There is no evidence at this time that states that these three individuals had anything to do with the death of Young Dolph at this time. People really need to quit putting out information until they get all the facts. I live in the town and, none of that is true. Uh, I would like to offer my condolences, man, to the family of Young Dolph. I can't imagine what they're going through right now. But I can feel their pain. When we lose someone through the hands of gun violence, man, that's a painful there's something real painful, man, to accept. And I wish that there was more that I could do for them. But at this time, the only thing that I can do is offer my condolences to his family, man, and hope that they may find peace, throughout this tragic ordeal. Uh, Tonight, man, I would like to share uh, a video by a pastor here in Memphis by the name of Reverend Earl Fisher. Uh, Reverend Fisher, man, has a message, man, that resonates with every community in America, especially the black community. You know, I have not heard anyone speak about the ills that's going on in our community in regards to gun violence like he has, and it was much needed. I really got something out of it. I hope I get an opportunity to meet Reverend Fisher and to let him know personally uh, how much his message meant to me. And I'm sure it probably meant the same to others if they saw and heard this message. Also, I would like to, man, give a shout out to the Reddit community, man. The Chiracology Reddit community. The RDN Nation. I've never met any of you, but I really want to thank you for supporting me. You know, I'm still new at this and trying to find my way, but I really, really appreciate your support. I have nothing but mad love for you. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we're going to get off into this video and this message by Reverend Earl Fisher out of Memphis, Tennessee.
The Reverend Earl Fisher is now here standing by. He's from Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church to talk about violence in this city, particularly gun violence. Good evening to you, Reverend Fisher. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, Sister Merle and Brother Darrell.
We know that you have been talking about controlling, keeping down the violence and the gun violence, particularly amongst our young people in Memphis. Your thoughts at this hour, knowing that Young Dolph, followed by many young people, very young to those who are in their 30s and beyond. Your thoughts tonight?
Well, thank y'all for having me. And first and foremost, I think above all, we should send our condolences to the family of Young Dolph. And I hope we can all pledge our full support of the family in this time of tragedy. I don't want to contribute to any sensationalism or decentering of the family. I'm sure there'll probably be a lot of that over the next few days. But I do hope and pray that we can use this moment as one of honesty and healing and maybe even squeeze or salvage some hope out of this rather horrific situation. I think the bottom line is that there is just way too much black pain and death and trauma. But we have to be honest with ourselves and admit that violence is not some overnight occurrence. It's been a byproduct of some structural inequities that have existed for far too long. And we should also be honest enough to admit there are no simple solutions. And this issue and the issues associated with it, the horrors that we continue to encounter, are a byproduct of a whole lot of things, which include some broken promises and failed leadership and oversimplified responses to some complex reality.
Talk about failed leadership. What are your thoughts about the police chief, C.J. Davis? It's now 6/11, 6/12, and we've not seen her visible talking to this community. Is that a failure? We have heard that she is going to appear. Should it have been earlier?
Well, I feel like her responsibility is to be accountable to the people of the city that have certain expectations and things like this happen. One of the expectations is that there would be a swift response that would be committed to full transparency, accountability, and bringing to justice whoever might be involved in it. Having said that, again, to not get too much into the sensationalism of it, she can respond for herself if she needs to speak for herself and be held accountable for what she says and does and doesn't do, as well as those who are elected and employed and empowered to respond to these conditions. But I want to be clear and say, tonight, all of us have blood on our hands because we have either been involved in the construction of these conditions that make this type of violence so prevalent and common, or we've been too complicit in doing what it takes to improve the quality of life for so many Memphians that would make this less likely. So it's a tragedy all the way around. I know there'll be a whole lot of pointing fingers. I mean, I think Mayor Strickland has spent the last several weeks pointing fingers at the county administration or this group and that group. But so many people made so many promises about what they would do while they would be in office to lower crime, and we just see that the things that have been promised and the things that have been implemented up to this point, if we're all honest, it just has not worked. And I hope that people can collectively come together, reconsider some serious and substantial structural changes, knowing that the change won't happen overnight, but it's still something that has to happen sooner rather than later.
The Reverend Earl.
All of us know that through the years, Young Dolph has had has had his share of, I guess you would say, I guess you could say disagreements with other rappers, here in the city. I don't want to be one to speculate on anything, but, you know, prior to this incident here, there were attempts in the past on his life, and God blessed him to be able to make it through, but this time, he wasn't able to, you know. Uh, I feel like, man, he probably should have had better security with him, but right now, that's neither here nor there. He was trying to show love, man, to a business, a black business, you know, and due to that, he lost his life. Now, I can't solely blame that on him losing his life, but he did something that a lot of us don't do anymore, and that's try to support black businesses, you know. A lot of us, once we get the money, we run. He came back to the community and tried to help the community, but, you know, we also see what happens each and every time people try to come back, you know. But that's another story. I just really wanted to get the message of Reverend Fisher out there because I feel like it's a message that needed to be heard, and I felt like that message can help or be instrumental, man, in trying to address some of the ills within our community. And one of those ills is the gun violence in our community. I don't have the answers and I don't know what it's going to take, but as long as we have like-minded individuals like Reverend Fisher, I'm sure we'll get the answer one day. Uh, Again, man, my condolences to the Thornton family. May Young Dolph rest in peace, man. And until next time.